This is Live 5 News.
Right now at 7, the new coroner of Williamsburg County says she doesn't know what happened to decades worth of death records, and she says she has no clue where the previous coroner was keeping bodies.
Rob Way uncovered this all and tells us how she, along with other officials, are questioning if records were even kept.
For families or police looking for death records in Williamsburg County, they may be out of luck. I know because I tried. I was working on another story and requested some of these death records, and the county's coroner, Ivory Henryhan, told me she has no death records from before January. Do you have any idea where these records are?
I have no earthly idea. I have no idea. I can tell you where the records are from January 1st, 2021, but I have no idea where any records are prior to then.
Were records even kept, do you think?
I don't know. I would hope so.
Henryhan was sworn in as the county's new coroner at the beginning of this year. She replaced Harrison McKnight, who was coroner for more than 40 years and chose not to run for re-election. His deputy coroner did run, though, and lost to Henryhan in the election last fall.
I personally reached out to the coroner when I won the election, about a few days after the election, and my response from that coroner was, you have the knowledge so you can figure it out.
Williamsburg County Supervisor Dr. Tiffany Wright says she's always respected McKnight and is a little surprised Henryhan has not been given the records. She says, though, since coroners are elected, there's nothing the county can do.
I'm hopeful that our previous coroner did do his due diligence in keeping up with the records, and maybe I'm hoping it's just a matter of a mistake that was made. But obviously, if not, then at that point, our current coroner, Ms. Henryhan, will have to take whatever action she has to take.
It's not the only problem Henryhan ran into. When she was sworn in, she says she didn't have a physical coroner's office or even coolers to store corpses. You weren't even sure where he was keeping the bodies before you took office?
I have no clue. I have no clue.
Right now, the Williamsburg County Sheriff's Office has given her a temporary place to work, a change of scene from the previous coroner.
They had a building that was adjacent, I believe it was on 52, that was on the side of a car mechanic shop, and that was considered the building where the coroner was. But as I stated earlier, we've made some big changes. When she got in office, she required additional items, more so than what the previous did, and we were able to help her with that.
You know, I started files. I started coroner reports for every case. Every case that I've had has a file number, easy access. So if a family wants to come in and discuss a case, I can go back into my files and pull that folder.
I reached out to the previous coroner, who told me a week ago he had some records and was going to reach out to Coroner Henryhan that day. As of this morning, though, she says he called but has not handed anything over. We were hearing from Mrs. Henryhan. She said a number of the records are missing, that she wasn't able to get the records from when you were coroner in terms of death records. Do you have any response to those accusations? You're seeing his direct response to my question on the screen, telling me she has some records, but not all. It's a situation the president of the South Carolina Coroners Association says she has never seen before.
Every coroner does things a little bit differently, but they should be handed over from one coroner to the other because, you know, Ms. Henryhan would not have access to any previous death prior to January. So if law enforcement needs that information or families needing that information and she doesn't have access to that, makes it very difficult for her.
Henryhan says she has no animosity towards her predecessor, but needs access to the death records. Her next step may be calling in the governor to help get them. In Williamsburg County, I'm Rob Way.
If you're a family in Williamsburg County who has not been able to get death records, we want to hear from you. Email Rob and our investigative team at the email address you see right there on your screen.